Watching Morning at NTV.
Morning at NTV, we are live from Kampala Serena Conference Center. I'm Andrew Chamagiromuntuawansi, and it happens to be one of those days, 15th of February 2022, as the pressures to increase the yields forces farmers to, turn to hybrids. There is an ongoing effort to ensure that we do not lose our organic crops. Yeah. Now, to bring this conversation home with me, I have Mr. Francis Nsanga, the project manager at the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa, and Joshua Ijuka will be joining me on Zoom, the project manager in PELUM, Uganda. Now, this conversation is on Twitter and on YouTube. The hashtag is MorningAtNTV. Good to see you, Mr. Nsanga.
Thank you, Andrew, and good morning. Good morning, our viewers.
Now, for starters, what do you mean by organic agriculture?
Well, maybe before I answer that question, I would just like to create some understanding of what we are doing.
Okay,
so,
as the Knowledge Hub.
Yes.
Perfect.
So the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa is one of those very important projects in this country and in the region. Because
why important?
Because we want to have our organic food that gives us health, our organic food that gives us vitality. You already know that without organic food, without natural food, we are gone. We are finished.
That's true.
And we shall know this in details as we go on. But what I wanted to say is that the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa is in 4 countries as we speak right now. It is in Uganda, it's in Tanzania, it's in Kenya and Rwanda. And in April 2022, just a month from now, we shall have Madagascar on board.
Oh.
And the Knowledge Hub for Eastern Africa is just one of the hubs in Africa. And so we are part of the continent-wide project called the Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture.
Have you thought about South
Africa? Yes, we have.
Because I was in South Sudan last week, and it's a food-stressed country, if I should put it that way.
That's true.
So. So when we see the Knowledge Hub and it's going to Madagascar, Madagascar is not doing so bad, but if we could think about these neighbors of ours, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So your organization, Knowledge Hub, and then organic agriculture. Knowledge will come with a lot of technological advancements in my school of thought, right? And it embraces a little bit of, hybrids. That's what I'm thinking. Then we have organic. Where do you draw the dispute there, and how do you match the two?
Thank you very much, Andrew. I think you're mixing a bit of things here, and I want us to be very clear. Knowledge Hub, knowledge does not necessarily mean technology or advancement or supersonic issues.
That's true, that's true.
Knowledge can be what you have to do organic farming in your backyard, for example.
Makes sense now.
And so what we are looking at is to create and make that knowledge available to farmers. The reason why people do not do organic agriculture is because they don't have knowledge. Many times they say we don't know how to do it, we don't know where to find the inputs that are organic, and then they end up doing what we call the conventional farming, which is not very good for our environment, which is not very good for our biodiversity, which is very harmful to your health.
I love that. So how is Knowledge Hub planning to disseminate information to the grassroots farmers, especially now that the knowledge gap is what is disturbing the way we are practicing agriculture?
Excellent. So we have, today as we speak, we have what we call the Farmers Caravan. It's going around places in this country. We are going to Kayunga, Wakiso, Bui, Kweruero, Nakaseke, Masaka, name it. And so we are taking our multipliers. We have trained young men and women who know how to take the knowledge of how to do organic practices to the grassroots. And so we are taking all these farmers to the places we want them to see how people are doing organic agriculture, for them to get more motivation, for them to get more skills and knowledge. And so after that, they will go back to their communities and disseminate this knowledge. And that's how we do it.
Now, I love that. But after they have farmed and after they have changed the models of farming, the market, Francis, the market is one thing that disturbs the farmers when you go around this country.
I think, Andrew, you're spot on. You're very right.
I'm a farmer myself.
You are?
Yeah.
What do you grow?
I'm farming coffee. That's one. Then two, I'm doing sweet pepper.
Great.
Yeah.
So I think the market has been one of the challenges that we've had from farmers.
Okay.
And I will take you back to the knowledge gap. The problem is that people do not know. For example, I eat organic in my home.
Oh.
Okay? And if no one knows that I do, they will not market to me. You get my point?
Yes, sure.
And there are many people like me who are in this country and outside of this country.
Yeah.
And so the market exists. What we need to tell the farmers is where is the market and how can you get connected.
Yes.
And so in the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa, we have 3 objectives. And the first one is to collect organic agriculture knowledge. Collect it. The second is to disseminate that knowledge.
To the
way
farmers.
I've told you, it goes down to the farmers through our multipliers. And then the third is to network between the value chain actors. The value chain actors from the production to the consumption. And so we want these guys to network so well so that the guy who is at the market node knows where the production is taking place.
Wow.
And the guy at the production knows where to get the guy at the market node.
Nice.
And so that's what we are doing. I think the biggest problem is the market, is the knowledge hub,
the knowledge gap.
People need the knowledge, and we are here to do that and take it a little higher so that farmers can be connected to the buyers, and if they want, they can still go to the market themselves. And this is very much possible.
Nice. Now, so while you're doing all these, I see now you're having a little bit of more like a partnership with PELUM. Why now? Why PELUM? Why did you guys come together? Do your visions merge in one or the other? I know PELUM is passionate about food and all, but why now?
Okay, so let me again put it right somehow, because the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa is in 4 countries. I mentioned that in the beginning. Yeah. And so each of these countries has got a country implementing partner. Oh. And so PELUM falls in so handy. Like you've said, they are so passionate about food. And not just food, but organic food. Yes. And so PELUM comes in as the country implementing partner for the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa. Wow. And so we have similar organizations in Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda that are doing exactly the same.
Wow. I love it when you say that the partnership that are coming through. But now, you see, we as farmers, it's very hard to convince us not to use chemicals in this day and age kind of farming. They will tell you have to use this for the weeds, you have to use that for the pesticides and all. How are you going to convince the farmers, or how do you convince the farmers now that you have a caravan? The caravan literally goes through my district of, Wakiso, and it goes to Luwero. So how do you convince the farmers? What models do you use that the farmers are not deviated from the organic approach, that they are going to embrace more chemicals in the farming?
Before I convince that farmer, I want to convince you first, Andrew. Look here. When you're spraying using those chemicals, they tell you to cover your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears. What do you think is in those chemicals if they are telling you to cover?
It's deadly, that it could damage my soft spots. Yes.
It is deadly. And so how much motivation do you need? How much more do I have to tell you that this is not good for you?
Okay. That makes sense.
Yes, exactly. So if they are telling you to cover all your soft parts when you're using them, it's obvious. It's obvious. And that's why we want our farmers to understand that the best way to do it is to go organic. Why? Because even the materials for organic farming are locally available. Everywhere you go.
I love when you say local available. Like what? If I just want to stay organic, like besides the manure, the cow dung and all that. You see, I could have the cow dung, I could have the urine of whatever it is, but the application, how I apply it and in what quantities and the quality of when to apply, that matters.
I am happy you already know that the cow dung does a lot of stuff.
I'm a farmer.
So the cow dung, all these wastes from our animals, from the chicken, will do a great job in giving us manure. But there are also, organic pesticides. We've just been to Kwagala farm here in Wakiso, in Kisasi, not even in Wakiso. Kisasi is in Kampala. And so Dr. Diana Nambatya, for example.
She's doing remarkably great.
Thank you. You know her.
Yes.
And so she has these inputs, organic inputs. We have KICKSTARTER Uganda. I think you've heard of KICKSTARTER Uganda.
Yeah.
They are having organic pesticides. There are other farmers, there are other organizations that are doing organic inputs. So what we are creating, we are addressing this, information gap that people do not know that organic inputs actually exist. Yeah. So in addition to your cow dung, to your household, residues, rubbish, everything, there are even organic pesticides, organic fertilizers,
on the market,
organic everything.
And they are affordable.
Very much so. I will tell you for sure, it is 10,000 for a liter of organic pesticides, for example. And that can mix up to 20 liters. And you don't need gloves, you don't need to cover your eyes, you don't need to cover your mouth, you don't need to cover your ears.
Because it's organic.
Exactly.
Wow.
So this is what we are talking about.
Joining us on Zoom, we have a colleague, that is Mr. Joshua Ijuka, the project manager at PELUM. Joshua, if you can hear me, good morning. Oh, he's not here yet. Coming back to you, Francis, what are the benefits of staying organic?
One of them is being very healthy. I'll tell you frankly, if you have eaten organic, let me give you an example. Everything you do and you do well, you get some results. If you go to the gym and you go there for 21 days, what happens?
Of course, you see the results.
You see the results, and you want to go there again. And I'll tell you, eat organic. You'll see the difference. Many of you in this COVID, 2 years of COVID, I think all of us have experienced something.
That is violence. The way you've secluded yourself, like many of you.
Exactly.
Carry on the organic.
Because I'll tell you that people who have been eating well, for sure, there's no need for any scientific proof. They have been better. They have been more resilient than those who eat rough fast foods and everything that doesn't go with the body very well. And so I'll tell you frankly that if you do organic, you'll be contributing 50 to 70% of your health. I do not need a lot of your, what do you call them, these things for antibiotics. I'll tell you for sure, I am a living testimony that I eat well and I live well.
You don't need to go to the hospital.
I go. I go. I'm not saying I don't go. I go. But I'll tell you the frequency that I go to hospital, for example, is not.
And then you're the person who is not organic.
I mean, it's self-explanatory. Wow. So eating organic is very, very important for anyone. Look at our children. Yeah. We really need to be sincere and honest to ourselves. If a child is missing nutrients, where do you get them?
In organic foods.
In organic foods.
Of late, they are bringing a lot of supplements. They say there is this supplement you can swallow 7 tabs a week, and it will be within your system.
Everything that is not natural will not come right. Everything that is not natural is not recommended. If the natural things are available, why do you go for a supplement? If the natural ones are available, what is it in there that is not in the pineapple?
Find it in the pineapple.
Exactly. Why don't you find it in the orange? Why don't you find it in the mango?
That brings me to another conversation, Francis, here. The way we eat food, most Ugandans are not cognizant with what we call the food layering. The way we eat, the layers of our food are not so much phased that they can actually give us the nutrients we need and the support we need as our bodies. How are you bridging that gap? Now, you're talking to the farmers. How can we, as the Wanayinchis, tap into this other knowledge of how best we can actually eat healthy so that you can have, simple balanced diets that are maybe on your portal or on your website, someone could actually tap into them?
I think you have touched a very important part. I know we are doing work with the farmers, but we also need to go deeper into the nutrition itself.
The consumers.
Exactly. And so we have seen people who pack their plates with only one type of, food nutrients. Proteins, starch, proteins, and there's nothing else.
The carbs are heavy.
So I think we also need to cover and address that information gap. People need to know how to, decorate, if I can use that word, decorate your plate. You should be having more veggies and more of the green and on your plate than the red, for example. I'm talking about red in the sense of red meat.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't eat. I don't eat red meat. But if you have to eat red meat, minimize. and then have maybe 50 to 75% green stuff.
Okay.
There you'll be doing a good job.
Wow.
Yes.
But you see, it disturbs and it beats my understanding of late. Whenever I go for occasions, even our service providers, don't you think we need a nutritionist at every kitchen?
We do.
Because the foods they're giving, they're all carb heavy.
And when you talk about in every kitchen,
yes,
it means in every home.
No, in every home, we cover the gap. Let our wives and we, the husbands, be intentional. We go and we have these kind of conversations and we move on. If you're just joining this conversation with me in studios, I have Mr. Nsanga Francis. He comes from Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa, and we're discussing something to do with organic foods in our country. You talked about organics and all that. I need to know, where is the market of organic foods past Uganda? Now that you're in the 4 countries, if a farmer aligns with your kind of model or aligns with your kind of umbrella, do they have an already market that is already to be tapped into?
There's a lot of market outside Uganda, but I don't want you to say out of Uganda. Why do you want to skip Uganda? Because there's a big market here. Okay. And the farmers that we are working with at the grassroots will not jump onto the export market right now before feeding themselves and the market around them. So we have a big market. I told you I eat organic. I should interest you, Andrew, to change your menu and have an organic.
But I eat organic, Francis. Francis, I eat organic.
Thank you.
Just the other week I was juicing. The whole week I was juicing.
So Francis, Andrew, and so many more people
we can go organic.
should be the people buying from our farmers in the first place.
That's true.
We have an organic market right here in Uganda at Abaita Ababiri.
Yes.
In the market, in the center of that Abaita Ababiri market, the food market.
Yes.
There's an organic, specifically organic market.
So how do you differentiate between organic market, the organic stalls per se, and kwa ujumla?
So the organic market receives from organic producers. And the organic producers are known to us. We know them. We know where they are. We support them with organic agriculture practices. We go there and support them. We go there and tell them what to do. And if they are not doing it right, they don't bring their produce to the market. It becomes conventional. And
so how do you stop him from bringing the merchandise to the market?
We have something we call the participatory guarantee systems.
Okay.
PGS for short. So PGS helps us to make farmer and farmer groups become so transparent to each other, so trustworthy, and they have this integrity that they are doing one thing and they are not doing the other when they are alone, for example. So if we have a farmer group of 10 farmers and they are producing, say, Irish potatoes, organic Irish potatoes, or organic pineapples, they should all be using organic inputs and organic practices. None of them should be using something else.
So do you just storm their farms and announce and you check if they...
No, we don't storm like that. We prepare them.
Okay.
We prepare them to become a PGS group.
Oh, in that locality?
Yes. And it's a whole lot of training. And so they go through a training, they go through a support system, and they become a PGS certified farmers group. And when they are, then they can supply their produce to the organic market.
Okay.
The organic markets that are out of this country will require that those foods, whatever you're supplying, is actually taken to the lab, tested, and certified organic.
Okay.
Here we might not go to the lab, but we know that we have created a system that is very transparent and very dependable, because the farmers know each other, and if a farmer in that group is not using organic inputs, then the other farmers will have to, delineate them, take them out of the group. And then they remain, because if they have that guy...
You will contaminate the narrative.
You've used the right word, contamination. They will contaminate the good things.
This is a good conversation. Now let's look at the produce. It's in the stalls. One stall is for non-organic, one is organic. The prices, how do they differ? Does the one with organic get more profits than the one who is non-organic?
Ideally, it should be the case. And that's what we are promoting. And I would buy an organic product more expensively because I know the value. I know. I will, if I know it is organic, I wouldn't mind about the price. This is what helps me and what should help the farmers to be motivated to do organic.
Francis, now this is in plants. Does this scale down to animals as well?
Exactly. Agriculture is animal and plants.
Yes.
You know? So let me give you an example. I want to go back to the spraying that we talked about. They are telling you cover every
soft spot of your body.
And then you go touch the things. Where do you, when you spray, where does the water go?
Of course it goes to the
downstream.
To the downstream, and then it comes out in the produce I'm actually going to get and eat.
So we are saying it should be, we should in as much as possible, you know, eliminate the use of conventional methods because it affects the environment. We want our biodiversity. We've not even talked about the insects, especially the most important insect, the bee. When the bee comes to that flower that has been sprayed with the conventional, you know, chemicals, what will happen? It will die. We have seen bees dying, and you know the importance of bees in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
So if we kill our biodiversity, we have killed everything, including the animals. Because the animals will go and feed on the grass that has the chemicals. The animals will go and drink the water that has the chemicals.
Now, when you talk about this, while you're on the ground, is there political will? You know, when you go to the villages and you're talking to the farmers, the councillors make a lot of noise. The politicians, at times, they want to sabotage. There are people who don't like this conversation, by the way, between me and you.
Yes.
Those who bring in the pesticides that are in the conventional way of doing this kind of business. So how do you deal with that?
First of all, I want to thank, I think the government has a very good political will. Through the Ministry of Agriculture, we already have the National Organic Agriculture Policy.
Yeah, and the framework is clear.
And the framework is clear. And so for us, all we want to do is to go to the grassroots and now implement the policy because the policy was passed. So that's a very good political will. And so there is nothing else we are going to ask. All we need to do as key players in the organic sector is to go implement the policy.
Nice. How do farmers now join? There is a farmer there watching is like, I wish I can join them. Or we are 7 of us, or we are 10, 15, and would like to be organic farmers. How long does it take them to shift from the conventional farming to organic farming? What are the processes? If they are going to join you, where do they find you? Do they go to the district agriculture officer, or there is a special desk for organic farmers there?
Okay, thank you very much. I think to start with, at the Ministry of Agriculture, there is a desk for organic agriculture, first of all. So at the helm of everything, we have a desk.
Nice.
That is important. And so when you go to the districts, you go to the grassroots, we have partner organizations that we work with. I will tell you that in Luwero we have many of them, in Wakiso here we have many of them, and KHEA Uganda is one of them. We have St. Jude Family Projects in Masaka, we have a FAD here in Wakiso.
Are the ones in Luwero working?
Yes, they are.
Because Luwero has a lot of pineapples, and it beats my understanding that the pineapples from Luwero are totally different from the ones from Mubende. I think that's
how different are they?
The taste.
The taste.
The taste is unique, and the texture, for some reason, one or two, seems not to be the usual. I don't know whether it's the weather or, but now it's kind of making sense. But again, the same people from Luwero are grappling with the market.
I want to thank you very much for that question and for that observation. Now you know the taste is different. The taste of pineapples from this place is different from that place. And so that's a very good point for us to start from. Okay, so if it's different, what is it causing it to be different, first of all? And the market issue that you've brought in at the end is the information gap we are trying to
bridge.
Exactly. Some of sometimes the seasons are producing too much. You know, the seasons bringing too much of the pineapples, and then there's a time when there are no pineapples. And so what do we do? One of the things we have done with the farmers is that if you have a lot of pineapples, can we add value? Can we extend the shelf life of the pineapple by probably making it dry or making juice and
or making powder?
Exactly. So that's what we are doing. But maybe it will not be seen, especially when you walk around, the streets, when you're going to the Kasekes of this world, and you'll find some of the farmers still grappling with the market. It's because we probably have not reached there, and we want to reach every single farmer. Now,
a farmer who would like to join you, Francis, where do they find you? What are your Twitter handles or the number to call to join to become organic?
Okay, great. So, one of the things that the farmer should know is that PELUM Uganda has an office in Kampala.
Okay.
In Ntinda here. They are at plot 41 Factory
If I can't
Road.
come to Ntinda?
If you can't come to Ntinda, you can make a call.
Okay.
Okay? You can make a call on 0702 739 713.
And on digital platforms, are they on Twitter and Instagram?
I wanted to end with that before you actually close. I can see you're preparing to land.
Yes, my time is...
So we have what we call the knowledge, the digital platform for organic agriculture.
It's a portal?
Yes.
Nice.
And it's going to cover the entire continent for all the 5 hubs that I talked about in the beginning. And so the digital platform is going to have everything we've talked about.
Nice.
Everything that we've talked about.
Market, price, da-da-da.
Exactly. It's a knowledge portal.
Nice.
And so the knowledge products about marketing, about organic practices are going to be put there. Validated.
Nice.
Not concocted. Validated knowledge will be put on the platform, and everyone everywhere can access.
Now you're saying will, that's future tense. When is this happening?
April 2022 we are launching.
Well, there you have it. That is Francis Nsanga from the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa, and of course they're in conjunction with PELUM Uganda, making sure that we stay organic. He was, hitting us so hard, those one of us who just eat everything that comes on a plate. Let's be a little bit colorful when we get to eat food. I'll take a break for now and I'll return. Good morning.